I'm with Gavin McPherson after our 1-0 win over Chippenham. I guess the first question to ask you, Gavin, is how's your heart?
Listen, and this I don't want to sound like a broken record, but there'll be elements of this interview that I'm sure will. It's been a travesty if we haven't won that game. We only really have ourselves to blame about having to give us the last sort of 10 minutes of putting balls in the box because we don't finish teams off. Is a simple view. I would rather, having said that, mainly focus on the fact that the boys were magnificent today. I thought we saw shades of it, more than shades of it against Western. We saw a different sort of game last week against Enfield. And now we're seeing a team that is running hard, creating chances. We've just got to get that final bit in place because you always run the risk of a slough and those types of things happen. We saw it with Western where we actually don't get anything out of the game. So I'm really pleased with the boys today. Defensively, I know we're good, and we've got the ability to be able to see games out. We've got two in thrown on the bench of whether we may change, but do you know what? Got to trust them in some respects, and we could make life a little bit easier for ourselves. Is a simple fact in respect to putting the ball in there. Supporters magnificent again. I'm really pleased for them because they've a few moments where they've had to put up with those sort of last 5-minute goals. It hasn't happened today. Thoroughly deserved it. We can move on to Tuesday and the day next.
And it's a great boost as well, Gav, that all the teams below us either lost or drew. We're up to 17th. I know you don't look at league tables at this stage of the season, but given how many late goals we've conceded this season, to hold out this time for a first home win of the season is a statement, isn't it?
A statement. I mean, we as a manager, you often come across as, especially in the dressing room, as someone that's never happy. And we will look at where we haven't quite met the heights today, and we'll work on that, and we'll try and keep working on that. And we have been working on that. Truthfully, I can't really go in there and do anything other than what I have, and that is praise them. They were superb today. They ran very hard for us, and to keep their heads and watching the balls late on, Reece being a very good someone that coming off his line is exactly what we want to see in those moments. So I can't be anything more than praising. Of course, as a manager, I will go away and go, got to do that better. Right, and I think that's quite obvious.
Yeah, but you know what you always say in recent games, got to take more of a ratio of chances. But the chances we're creating, I mean, it's incredible. Match after match now. It's just, we've got 3 accomplished forwards, which is just, I don't know, it's dark.
Listen, it's not dark. I mean, it's a great thing. We're creating chances. That has a lot to be said about that. The problem is that to win football matches at this level, often games are all one goal in it. At this level, so you don't want to, or you can't expect to keep it clean sheets every week. All right, we trust our defence, and they're a great defence, and there's probably not much better in the league, in my opinion. But give them a bit of a rest at some point and do the business at the other end.
Gavin, I know you don't like talking about decisions that go against us, but there were 2 serious cases for penalties for handball. One of them very blatant. Do you have a view on either of them?
The second one I had a really good view on. The second half, it's absolutely a stonewall of penalty, as you would see. The only 2 people, and the linesman's in a really good position. Listen, I'm not about passion. They have a really good, they're a really difficult job, but it's a really easy decision to give, is the truth of it. And the linesman, when I spoke to him, said that he recognised it hit his hand. So it's not as if he hasn't seen it, but he's talking about ball to hand. That absolutely astonished me because the ball's been delivered 40 yards from one side to the other. It's been in the air a long time, and the guy punches it out of play. But listen, we're not getting them, and yeah, we should get them out. I've spoken to him about it, and I'm respectful with it. He said he'd have a look at it, but sometimes maybe it evens itself out. Who knows? I don't believe in that. I think he gives decisions when they're there to give and today I don't think we got it.
And just a couple more, Gavin. The melee halfway through the second half, I think there were about 20 players involved. At one stage it looked like he was going to pull out a red, at another stage it looked like he wasn't going to do anything. In the end he gave both captains a yellow. What did you make of these?
I actually didn't see what caused it. I have to be honest, I'm definitely wrong. So I've got no real comment to make on that. I think he books both captains because teams are out of control. It's what the term is. So if your players are out of control, then both skippers get a booking in that respect. The way it was shaping up, I expected us to go down to 10 men, but I honestly didn't see the incident. I've not really spoken in depth to any of the boys with it, so I've not got much to say about it.
I've got to ask you, for the fans as well as myself and everybody else, how is Sam? I understand it was a head injury. You had to take him off at half time.
No. So we'll have a look at where it is, but I'll draw back from a minute. That's for sure. I think maybe he's just not feeling. He's feeling a little bit under the weather.
Okay.
Probably more what it is. We'll have to just pick that up. Yeah, he didn't feel himself. Volunteered that to us, and felt that he was off the pace, and that's where we are.
Was that before the game or during the game?
First I knew about it was when he came across.
I see.
So that's where we are. I just didn't, so I don't know. I'll have to speak to Sam about it. But listen, he's come across and been big enough to say it. So we had to make the change.
Onwards and upwards. A game on Tuesday, the London Senior Cup. We've discussed this before. Then the mother of all cup ties again next Saturday. But these clean sheets now in a lot of games are very good at the moment in terms of driving us forward and keeping teams out the other end. I know it's an obvious thing to say, but it's hugely important because it allows you to do a bit more in midfield than the other end of the pitch.
It's an art form. Defending is an art form. We're actually very good at it at the moment. What it does is it gives us a foundation to build on, but build you must. And
that's what I meant. You said it much better.
We've built slightly on it today.
Yeah.
Okay, but we should have been a lot more comfortable. And so look, it doesn't surprise me that we've kept a clean sheet. That's not a surprise to me. But things can happen. Ricochets can run into the path of people when you least expect it, and all of a sudden you won all. We've seen that happen to us. So from that respect, the boys have got to take a massive credit for that. We've got a platform, more than a platform to build on, but we need to do a little bit better at the other end.
I'll finish where I started. I think everyone had their hearts in their mouths in the last 10 minutes. It's this time, the very fact that we did hold on, I said use the word statement before, perhaps that was the wrong word to use, but certainly with that psychological given us a lot of confidence in this, we can even the opposition has a sniff in the last 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, look, you always believe that the boys can do that, and you basically expect that the boys can do that. But we had to make changes as well in respect of being able to bring a very experienced Mickey Parcell on to try and just shore things up. We went as a holding two, whether with Tosh, and that proved quite formidable, I thought, in there. So there are various things that we have to do on the bench, and you trust the boys to go and do what they've been doing basically all season. Let's not get away from it. They've basically been doing it all season. It's no surprise to me that we've done what we've done tonight.
Thanks, Gavin. See you on Tuesday. Cheers. Bye.